Thank you for listening to the Tattness podcast on the Tattness Co. Network.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. A Mercedes kind of sentiment, luxury, and trust in me to honor the free we all should be. It sees my sundial burst into yin and yang, right and left, me and you.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Tattness podcast. Thanks for checking us out. As always, I appreciate you guys, man. Now, before we get into today's show, I just want to put in a word from our sponsors and pay some bills, man. As an MMA fighter and a man who spends hours a day in the gym, if there's one thing I know, it's the unpleasant odor that your gym gear can develop. When you're tearing it up in the gym, you sweat. It's the law of the athlete. But what if I told you that you no longer have to throw out those smelly weight gloves or your favorite gym clothes due to lingering odor? I know you've tried those laundry detergents that cover up the smell for a day or two. We all have. But here's a game changer for athletes of any level. Sports Suds. Sports Suds doesn't mask odors, it eliminates them. And we all know it's hard to be intense in the gym and train like a beast, but you smell like a meadow of lavender. Well, good news. Sports Suds is fragrance-free. Sports Suds laundry detergent is specially formulated to dislodge contaminants, odor-causing bacteria, and their food source from your fabrics and wash them away completely. Leaves clothes free of odor. It's fragrance-free, ideal for high-tech sports clothing, allows waterproof, breathable fabrics to breathe better. Rinses away completely, removes residue buildup left by other detergents, safe for all washable fabrics, non-abrasive and gentle, hypoallergenic and non-toxic, biodegradable, made from all natural materials and sustainably sourced, vegan, perfume and dye-free, septic and gray water safe, HE compatible, excellent in both hot and cold water. High-yield powder is convenient for travel. It's not animal tested. Your clothes become totally free of embedded odors. So get Sports Suds and train hard without the odor hangover. Alright, so it's been a hectic week, to say the least.
Yep.
Lots going on with the promo launch, and then I did a show with Raw and Order. That will be coming out later down the road. Mm-hmm. I've got new sponsors, which I've mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, and I'm doing an interview tomorrow. I'm being interviewed. I was asked if I would be okay with being interviewed tomorrow.
Oh, awesome.
For a show called Carpool Shenanigans. So I was like, hey man, I'm open to whatever. I'm always down to fucking, if someone wants to interview me, I'm not a snob like that. I'll do it. Mm-hmm. So no idea what to expect with that, but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people that likes to have their questions given to them in advance or any stupid shit like that. I'm an open book, man. Ask me whatever the fuck you want. And then there's all that nonsense that on the last show I talked about that tool shed, and people are kind of like, man, you're successful and you've done so much, and this guy's like nobody, so why even respond to this idiot, and like, why did it start in the first place? And I thought about it. I was like, man, that's the one thing a lot of people don't know. So I don't get involved with that kind of shit. I'm not one of these, like, fucking internet keyboard warrior motherfuckers that I've said it time and time again, arguing with people on the internet's fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. And the only reason I got involved in this shit in the first place and said anything is because this motherfucker started talking shit about this guy's wife and kid. And you don't do that shit.
No, that's such a low blow.
And when it's somebody who's, like, a really peaceful fucking guy. So you got this, you got this guy that's really chill and doesn't like confrontation, and, this guy...
He's trying to keep the peace, essentially.
Yeah, but then his wife and kid gets talked about in a really brutal, negative way, and I was like, that's it. Fuck that. So I got into it, and that's why I got involved in it. And... that's what led me to what I want to talk about today is, like, the dark side of being successful and people knowing who you are. There's a certain trap that gets put out in front of you all the time. And in this case, it wasn't somebody calling out your name just because. You're going to get these people that don't want to earn anything. Mm-hmm. It's in you got the rap industry where people are known for doing this. They can't make it on their own, so they call out someone's name, hoping for a response, because if you respond and you're established, then guess what? Now they're relevant.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the same thing in many industries.
Yeah, you're riding the other person's coattails to achieve success.
So this tool, I don't know if it's because he's an alcoholic or bipolar or whatever the hell, decided to call out my name, which people told him was really stupid. And the funny thing is, my social media, yes, I'm on it. I'm not one of those people that after success has kind of thrown away all social media, but not yet anyway. I can honestly say there's a fair argument for why they do. I see it on the regular, so yeah, I get it. But I haven't, but I do keep my shit on lockdown. My profile is very well hidden and well protected. I keep a low profile. I keep myself, pretty tightly locked up. I don't let just anybody in.
Yeah, and you don't put everything out there for the whole world to
No,
see.
of course not. So this tool, because of that, couldn't really see who he's dealing with. And decided that it was a good idea. He's like, you got money, fly out here, we'll go to a gym, like a local MMA gym or something, and we'll fucking fight. And people started cracking up, and they're like, do you have any idea who you're dealing with?
Mm-hmm.
You
have a death wish.
You just picked a fight with a 6'5", 265-pound pro-trained fighter, and it's your funeral, kid. And so you can't reason with stupid people.
No.
And the light bulb went off in his head, so he started to call that shit out a little more. Mm-hmm. And it's quite transparent what he's trying to do.
Yep.
Because he's like, yeah, we'll do it on video. I don't care if I get my ass kicked. Let's do it on video. So it's like, okay, so in other words, you're willing to get your head punched in to get some fame, so you become relevant.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Mike Tyson punching an infant's not a good look.
No.
So I fucking flat out said, all right, look, kid, put in some work. Go lift something heavier than a beer. Train and become an actual legitimate competitor, and I'll fight you 100 times. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you're going to have to earn it first.
Yep.
I'm not going to fly out to some location and assault a drunk so you can become famous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to earn this. If you want it this bad like you claim, earn it. Put in some work. Become a legitimate competitor. And then you'll be taken seriously. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, stop calling out my name, because we're never going to work together.
No.
So I just, it made me think about that. And it's like, man, this happens in this industry or in any industry where you're successful all the time.
Yeah.
It's either someone calling out your name to say something slick, so if you respond to them, suddenly they get attention. They don't have to earn it. They don't have to do anything.
No, the work's done.
Right. All they did was say your name. And your hard-earned work and your profile and everyone that knows who you are, that follows you, are now going to follow what's going on between you and this idiot that, didn't do anything to earn any kind of recognition whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So it got me thinking, there's a lot of dark shit that comes with the territory. And I used to get really pissed about people that make it, people that become successful, and then they complain about so much. And it's like, what are you complaining about? But then when it happens with you, it's like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, I understand.
And so, I mean, between the people that all of a sudden are your new best friends, which is news to me, that when you did offer them your friendship and you didn't have all this, they didn't want your time, they didn't want nothing to do with you, but now all of a sudden, they know who to come to when they want something, right?
Yeah.
I've reached a point, literally, on social media where I cringe anytime there's a message in my inbox because it's paranoia, I guess. And there's that old expression of, like, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you, right? Mm-hmm. So just because you seem like, or you convince yourself you're paranoid, doesn't necessarily mean that it's not true that you're going to open that message and it's somebody wanting something from you. Yep. Somebody wants money. You know what I mean?
Something for nothing.
As always. It's always, hey, it's like just a minute ago you're posting this fucking hilarious shit all over your timeline, but then when I see you in my inbox the same day, minutes later, suddenly it's like a funeral. Like someone died. It's all depressing and such long faces and really don't know how I'm going to pay my rent this month and shit like that. Man, I hate that shit. I don't like that shit in my inbox, but it seems like the only time I hear from people is when they want something.
And that's really, it's sad and pathetic, really, because it's like, they're viewing you as their personal ATM.
Right. Oh, well, I didn't know. This is what gets me, right? There's this dude I considered a brother. When I had nothing and I just had like some corporate career and shit, I worked with this kid. Mm-hmm. And I got the opportunity to be full-time, benefits, everything. He did not. And I looked out for the kid. And then I make it, and I go my own way, and I do this, that, and the third, and I consider this kid a brother. He talks about how I'm a brother to him, this, that, and every, Mm-hmm. Then he hits me up one day and says he's stranded somewhere, and he's like, I don't know who else to go to. I need money to get home. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, I help the kid out. And I never heard from him again since.
Oh.
And that was like almost, I don't know, damn near a year ago already.
Or half a year.
Half a year, something like that, you know, because you remember that.
Yeah, actually, I do. It was summertime.
Right. So.
Wow.
You never hear from him again. Ever.
Not even a hello, how you
doing? Nothing.
Not even a meme?
Nothing.
Wow.
So
thanks a lot for nothing.
So it's like, that's the last fucking time. You know what I mean? And it just nonstop. It's always the same shit.
Some sob story.
Everybody wants something, and I'm the first fucking person they go to. So this is no different. This is somebody that doesn't want to earn anything that they have. They want to, you know, they're picking their spot. They see an opportunity. Oh, this guy, I doubted that he's successful, but here we are. He is known by so many people. They're vouching for this, and they don't know him personally, but they know who he is. So I'm going to make a name for myself, and I'm going to call him out, and I'm going to get him worked up and get him to respond and this, that, and the third, and, you know, try to get myself on video and get recognition for, like, you know, doing nothing but getting assaulted. Mm-hmm. I'm not fucking stupid, dude. You know, but these things happen all the time. So it got to a point, right, where my personal assistant said, from now on, all requests for any kind of financial bailouts go through me instead of you, because you're so damn nice and people know that they know how to manipulate you and make you feel sorry for them. I, on the other hand, don't give a fuck about their sob story. So have them go through me. And you won't even get these stories delivered to you. They won't even cross your desk because I'm so tired of this shit.
Oh my gosh. Well, no kidding. It's like, can't people just talk to you like a human being?
Apparently not. I'm not worthy of that. The only thing I'm good for is bailing their asses out when they want something. So these are the things you deal with. And then there's a lot of good, too, that comes with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not mad at the fact that I have a bunch of people that know who the fuck I am, and I've never been to where they live or anything like that. I get these, after the last show, I got a voice clip message on Instagram from a dude in the U.S., in Pennsylvania, talking about, that was the best roast job I've ever heard, man. I'm still laughing. You killed him. You buried him. And I'm like, this is what I love, dude. It's like that brothership, you know, brotherhood with these strangers that, you know, that are really cool people. But I don't know them. But they love what I do.
Yeah.
They know who I am. And I dig that. And I reach out and I talk to them like a normal human being and say, let's work together. Let's do something, you know?
Yeah.
But it's funny. This dude, I guess he thought he was under the impression he got me all worked up, all riled up, and I was all pissed or whatever. And that's not the case at all. It's like, I thought it was a shitty thing to do, talking about some dude's wife and kid.
Yeah.
But, you know, when I go at someone like that, it's my competitive nature. It's what I do.
Oh, yeah. And I know you are a very competitive person.
Extremely.
Even, like, hey, when we hang out and we play video games together, you just, like, want to school me in any game, especially Mario Kart. Hey, if any of you guys ever get a chance to play Mario Kart with Tattness, you're in for a hell of a time.
Yeah. I'm not even going to lie. I play that and multitask because I've got it so memorized.
Oh my gosh. And then I'm sitting here, I'm like dead last, and I'm like, oh my god, and you're just like, meh.
And don't get it twisted, it's not like I sit around playing video games all the time. It's from my childhood.
Well, yeah.
I still remember all of it from my childhood, and now it's like second nature. It's like riding a bike. Second I pick up that controller, it's like, it's on.
Yeah, especially you get the Koopa. Is that who you use?
Yeah, the turtle.
The turtle.
That's my dude. That's my dude.
God.
I know everyone swears by Yoshi and this, that. And,
well, I use Yoshi.
Not I, sir. I want
Screw
that
you
turtle.
then. I want Yoshi.
I don't
Piece
care.
of shit. But anyways,
back to the point. I'm a competitive person. So if you're going to call out my name, I'm going to verbally fucking destroy you. And that's my job. That's my goal. That's what I do. And so I gave this dude just a burial. Not just the show, but like on his timeline, on his little page and whatnot. And people are like, ouch, that was brutal. That was slick, dude. Like, there's no coming back from none of that. And this dude had nothing to say. about anything I said. He had nothing to say that was original or creative. It was just like he knew he was destroyed. So I was like, okay, now I'm bored. You know? Mm-hmm. You're not offering me anything.
No real competition.
Not at all. And for someone that talks so damn much, you say so little. And you talk so damn much about how you think you're so slick and that no one can talk better than you and this, that, and the third. And then you get owned. Mm-hmm. And the response you give me was like, you tell yourself, I must be a fan because I took the time to call you out? What a delusional nut job.
Oh my God.
And that's the best you got. I was disappointed. I was expecting some kind of verbal battle, some kind of like competitive...
intelligent insult or something.
Right. Let me feel like I was insulted at least. Give me something that stings a little, and I have to think, how am I going to come back from that? And I got nothing. So I was like, all right. So there goes another one. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to respond to you anymore, kid. Earn it. Go pick up some weights. Go fucking train. Go do something to earn some acknowledgement. I'm not going to pluck you out of your shitty little call center job by beating your ass on film and having you suddenly relevant, you know?
No.
By riding my coattails? Nah, kid. And, you know, you got people telling you that you have no idea who you're dealing with, and it would be a wise idea to watch your mouth and just walk away. And he finally listened. He finally realized that the best thing he could do is not try to get my attention because it's the last fucking thing he wants. So it got me thinking about this whole thing.
Yeah.
And how this happens all the time. Mm-hmm. The second you become successful and people catch wind of it, you're going to hear a lot of dumb shit.
Oh.
You're going to hear a lot of things like, well, you got money, so come fly out on your dime and beat my ass. What's in it for you? Here on video. And you're getting your 15 minutes of fame, mm-hmm. and now suddenly people know who you are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But that's it.
Right. So why would I do that?
Exactly. Well, it's like you said, it's like Tyson punching an infant. Like, it's basically, you'd look like a fucking asshole, for a lack of a better term.
Take any pro fighter. Not just myself, you take anybody. Say Brock Lesnar, or Conor McGregor, or anybody. Ronda Rousey, whatever. Some homeless-looking motherfucker off the streets that had a few too many to drink calls them out for a fight. Are they going to acknowledge that?
No.
And for so many reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, if I was to fly out and beat the 7 shades of shit out of some alcoholic that thinks he's a tough guy in a legal gym, in a legal contest, it is still extremely irresponsible of me to use my training to basically assault somebody who doesn't have any kind of training whatsoever. Mm-hmm. It would not be right. It would be, you know, not only immoral and irresponsible, but unethical and unsafe. Because even, you know, with minimal effort, you could still hurt somebody terribly.
Yeah.
And especially when you live in the U.S., and I'm not picking on the U.S., it's just common fact. You guys over in the U.S. have medical bills. Mm-hmm. You don't have the kind of health coverage we have. Mm-hmm. So if this guy's working a call center...
probably has no insurance, really.
Right.
And so, can't afford it.
Can't afford his medical bills. I think we can see the writing on the wall as to the outcome of that situation. Mm-hmm. Somebody's getting sued, and it's going to be me.
Yeah. No.
Even though it was a professionally...
consented, right.
Like in a professional setting, you know, in not something in the streets, but organized in a gym, in an MMA gym, where it's a facilitated fight, and it's a competitive event. I would do it for charity. I would do it for sure. Put all the money towards a charity, towards NKH research, and I would do it if this person was trained. Mm-hmm. If this person had any training whatsoever and had the credentials to say, I know what I'm getting myself into and I can safely fight and defend myself.
Yeah.
But you don't have that.
Not at all.
So why would I say, I'm just going to go ahead and pound the piss out of somebody just because I can?
Yeah, people would respond very negatively to that.
And here's the thing, man. Even in MMA, it's a sport I love. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I don't love about it is I truly, as funny as this is going to sound, I truly do not enjoy hurting people.
Sorry, I kind of laughed there, but it's, like, funny. But, I mean, I think it would take a really sick person to want to intentionally hurt someone. And you've told me before, it's a competition.
It is.
It's all it is. It takes out your competitive nature. And it's more than just punching each other out until someone's out. It's a lot of strategy involved.
It's problem solving. Mm-hmm. You've got someone in front of you that wants to use their fists to hurt you.
And put you down. And your goal is to do the same thing. So you, on the fly, have to figure out how you're going to do that while preventing them from doing the same. Mm-hmm. So it's a problem solver, type situation. Yeah.
And this dude is not equipped for that.
No.
He's never experienced it. There's no experience. So it's going to be like a 3-second thing. And
if even.
And I'm not saying that even in a cocky way or to put someone down. It's just if you're not experienced, I don't care how tough you think you are. You could be the toughest guy in your local bar. If you got in the ring with Tyson, who's experienced, guess what's going to happen? You're going to wake up not knowing what the fuck just happened.
Mm-hmm. In a hospital.
Right.
Bruised up.
So if I don't like hurting people that know what they're getting themselves into, because this is what we do. Mm-hmm. This is their career that we chose.
Yeah.
Why would I want to hurt somebody who really isn't equipped to take that kind of a beating, who's not familiar with that kind of day-to-day competition? Or, just because someone says something slick on the internet doesn't mean I go into kill mode. I'm not one of those keyboard gangsters that's like, you said something, now I'm going to fucking murder you.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? That's not me.
No.
You say something I don't like on the internet, so be it. Doesn't mean I want to hurt you. Doesn't mean I want to punch your face in.
No.
So trying to basically lure me into that kind of trap and sucker me into your level of thinking, it's not going to work.
No.
But it made me start thinking about how, shit, I go through this all the time.
Yeah.
Ever since I've made a name for myself, you deal with that kind of third grader mentality of, well, if you got all this money, show me. If you fucking, so successful, do something for me to prove it. It's like, or you're a trained fighter, so come beat my ass then. Who wants that?
No one in the right mind.
You weigh like 100 pounds and you want some 265, 6'5" wrecking machine that's trained to come and beat the hell out of you? For what reason?
No sane person would want that.
Success is a motherfucker, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Because people want it that bad. People want fame that bad that they're willing to be put in a coma just to get that 15 minutes.
Yeah. Let's face it. With the rise of social media and internet and all these video apps and that, people are doing more progressively stupid things to get 15 minutes of fame. Like, I don't know, like those stupid viral challenges, like, my God, licking batteries, all this dumb shit, just to get that shred of fame. It's stupid.
I agree completely with that. It seems social media is just fucking an outlet for people to be more and more stupid. And I'm not saying that about everybody, but there are people, and we all know who they are. We see it on a daily basis. And it's just disheartening to see that people aren't getting any more intelligent.
No. And, if you think about it, back in the early 90s when we had America's Funniest Home Videos, it was like, accidental, circumstantial stupidity. But now people are intentionally doing it.
Well, the thing is that I've noticed with this is that people are willing to do just about anything to become relevant.
Oh.
And to become successful, to become famous. And they're willing to do literally anything except work for it.
You're absolutely right. And that includes, like, exploiting themselves either sexually or just intelligently. Like, just the stuff that makes you scratch your head. Like, what sane person would do this?
Yeah, I never understood. You got, check out my premium Snapchat. Pornhub's free, right? Why would people pay you to see you fucking take your shit off?
Yeah, exactly. Or diddle yourself.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. And if you can't find some kind of discernible talent to actually make it in some industry and do something great, then it's just laziness in my view. I think everybody, including this dickhead that I'm talking about, has some kind of talent somewhere.
Yeah.
That could be constructively used to do something, but instead, everyone's looking... Well, not everyone, I shouldn't say that. I hate blanket statements.
A majority, let's say.
Some people just love to find the easiest route. I get it. Work smart, not hard. But at the end of the day, do you want to be one of those people that's known for, like, people questioning, why are you even famous just for existing? You've done nothing.
And let's face it, there's one prime example. Kardashians, but...
You know, all that kind of crap. You just exist, and suddenly people are throwing fucking money at you?
Yeah, well, in their case, again, riding the coattails of their father.
Right.
And their stepfather.
So this guy wants to ride the coattails of somebody who's put in work and established themselves and made a name for themselves. And that's just not the way it works.
No.
I wasn't born yesterday. I see right through that kind of crap. So do something. And it's mind-blowing that somebody would rather, instead of doing any kind of work, putting in work to become successful or famous, would rather instead just get the shit kicked out of them in order to make it. You know? And it's like, what claim do you have in that? All that does is it makes my career a mockery, makes me look like a joke, because I'm beating the hell out of somebody who's not relevant, who's not trained, who basically didn't do anything except for open their mouth. It's not a good look.
No, not at all.
And so it tarnishes my reputation, and it creates one for you. And I'm not about that.
Nope.
I put in work. I've become what I am today because I busted my ass, and I never fucking took no for an answer. I kicked doors in, and I jumped on opportunities. And this guy wants to get out of his shitty call center job by calling out my name, hoping that I lose my cool and say, all right, let's do this. Well, no.
So he's going to have to keep dreaming, because that's the only place that's going to happen.
Yeah, and it's been a downward spiral just watching him implode and bury himself and embarrass himself on, live social media.
For the public to see, not a friends list. It's
the
public.
public, yeah. Including potentially his employers, and that's always going to end terribly.
Oh, yeah, and on some of his rants, I think you may have mentioned it, he called out some people he works with in a very negative light.
Yeah, it's just a train wreck. So
he's a ticking time bomb. And
so me throwing down with someone like that, people's first question would be, what for? Why? What's the point? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So I ignore that nonsense, and I said, that's the last of my attention I'm giving. I said what I needed to say. And everybody warned him, you think this is the kind of attention you want, but I assure you, once you get him started, there's no shutting him off until the job is done. He is going to be all over you, and he's going to fucking ruin you. But he's doing a fine job of that himself, so I don't need to.
No.
So I left it alone, and I moved on with my life, and it was just, he... To his credit, I give everyone that knows me knows I give credit where it's due. I'm a firm believer in that. So I give credit where it's due. He actually, on a live video, called up the dude and apologized to him for talking shit about his wife and kids, and said, I crossed the line. I broke my own rule. I went against my own principles and my own values, and you don't do that shit. So I apologize and whatever. And I was like, you know what? I give credit where it's due. It took balls to do that.
Yeah.
And it took decency to do that. But at the same time, I know alcoholics and I know bipolar people, and their apologies often have an expiration date on them. So we'll see how long that lasts before the shit talking starts all over again.
And he's back to square one.
Right. And I mean, I look at the mentality of the person that I was dealing with, and it's like, why would I get sucked into this further? I said what I needed to say. This cat's trying to tell me that dropping F-bombs and basically talking about whatever doesn't make my show uncensored. Well, what exactly does uncensored mean then?
Yeah.
Do I bleep out any profanity?
No.
Do I steer away from any kind of controversial subjects?
No.
Or, pick what I say
carefully. No.
And steer clear of anything or not say something that's on my mind.
No.
So I don't get where I'm not uncensored.
He doesn't seem to understand what uncensored means.
There's a lot of things he doesn't seem to understand.
Yeah.
And I'm not making the show about that idiot. I'm just saying, there's things like that where you could get into, when it comes to social media, you could get into the stupidest arguments with people if you really buy in. But I'm a firm believer that you do not need to attend every beef that you're invited to.
No.
That's on you. And look at people that are successful. Do they respond to every little fanboy that talks shit?
No.
Not at all. And I'm grateful for what I have. So I don't like to complain, but there is a dark side to it all as well.
Yeah.
You lose a lot of people in your life. You lose people that you thought were your friends, and then they turn around and they kiss your ass just before they ask for something.
And they show their true colors.
And you know it's out of character because they weren't that fucking friendly 3 days ago until something came up, and now they want a bailout. All of a sudden they're talking to you more often, they're kissing your ass, they're telling you how proud they are of you, and then what happens? The hand comes out. Hey, by the way.
And the sad story.
I really hate to do this, but I kind of need something. You don't hate to do shit.
No.
The only thing you hate is the fear that I'm going to tell you to fuck off. You know what I mean? And it just gets old. So you lose a lot of friends.
Yeah.
You become alienated, honestly. You become isolated. You lose a lot of friends. You fucking lose everybody that you considered family. And you start to really become paranoid about checking your messages. Every time your phone dings, it's like, oh, fuck, now what? Who wants something now? Because it usually is just that.
Or the sob stories come in.
I don't ever fucking get messages saying, hey, how are things? How is everything? You good? Cool. Just checking in. Nothing, So I thought, well, it does have its downsides. So, I mean, I do love that I can go to the gym and people will come up to me and they know who I am and they'll talk to me, show a lot of respect. Hell, you've seen it firsthand. I get a lot of fucking respect in the gym. And, I could be out in the streets and have that happen. I could be anywhere and, you'll get people, but everyone's so respectful.
Yeah.
You don't get people coming up to you like at the worst times or every time you step foot out of the house or anything. But you do get people that come up to you and they're very respectful and they're really cool and you get to talk to them and you get to meet some new people and it's really cool. So it's not all bad.
Yeah.
But there is a dark side to it where people catch wind of who you are if they didn't know, and then you become that target on social media. Like, let me just keep provoking this person until I get a bit of their attention. Maybe I'll get them to say my name. Maybe I'll get them to say my name on the air and make me relevant, and then people will check out my so-called show and this, that, and the third. I had to tell this kid, man, getting embarrassingly drunk on Facebook Live is not a show. No. It's just not.
It's not. It's an embarrassment.
It's a train wreck. And at first it's kind of funny, but then it becomes depressing, where it's like, I don't want to see this kid just kill himself.
Exactly, or just fuck his life up even more.
And I know there's a lot of people that are feeding into his attention and are constantly going at him, even though he's kind of, after I ripped into him, he backed the fuck off. And so now you got people kind of going at him, and it's just like, shit, just let it go. Leave him alone. Stop giving him attention, because that's what keeps it going.
Yeah, and just feeds the monster even further.
I mean, I could go on all day and be like, how's my show not, uncensored if... like, that's exactly what it means, but you obviously don't grasp the English language, even though you're fucking, you are only an English-speaking human being. You don't quite get what words mean.
No.
So, why would I pick on someone like that?
No. Well, you're a bigger person.
It just doesn't make sense, and I got way more fucking important shit to do with my time. And, yeah, I'm going to cut back a little bit on some of the profanity on my show, just because newer sponsors and things like that, sometimes they don't like when you have way too much profanity.
And F-bombs.
Right. So, that being said, if you don't like the shortage of F-bombs that are in comparison to my usual average, then I mean from the bottom of my heart, I truly, sincerely mean, excuse the fuck out of me. But I have sponsors that want to pay my bills and help out with the show, keeping me doing this for free for all y'all. So I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
I know people don't like ads in the shows and things like that, but you know what? That's kind of the way things work.
Yeah, well, look at YouTube or TV. They gotta pay. They have bills to pay too.
This is how successful people get paid. They keep taking money opportunities that come in. Mm-hmm. That's just how it goes. You become successful and you stay successful by accepting opportunities. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly.
If you're upset about it, guess what? If you're listening on Spotify, I don't add those ads. Mm-hmm. They do. There's nothing I can do about that. Mm-hmm. If you're listening on Podcast One, there's nothing I can do. They insert ads. Mm-hmm. Sorry. So, I figure if everyone else is going to make money off my shit, I'm going to make money off my shit. Mm-hmm. So, if you're mad at that, then I'm sorry. You don't understand how business works. And just like anything, if you don't like what I'm saying, if you're listening on satellite radio, there's a little knob you can turn. You can find something you do dig. Mm-hmm. That's totally fine. Yeah. If you're listening on your phone or on your computer, you can take your little mouse. You can go find a show that you do like. And maybe they won't have ads. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But that's the beauty of things, is you don't have to listen to things you don't like.
Yeah.
It's just that easy.
Nobody's forcing you.
Right. So this guy was burying people and their hard work. And I'm like, people view these things as their art. And artists are very sensitive about their shit.
Well, of course, because he created it.
So you have to watch your mouth when you don't just shit on people's work just for the sake of shitting on it, when you could instead just not listen to it anymore. Find something that is more your speed and listen to that.
Exactly. Or if you choose to, say something about it, be constructive about it. Don't be a fucking cunt, as I say. Oh, well, sorry. I hope that's okay to say that.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? It's just somebody trying for shock value to make a name for themselves by shitting all over somebody else's work. And I don't respect that at all. No, not at all.
It's rude.
It's petty, and it's transparent.
Grade school mentality.
You're not Howard Stern, my dude. So, I just, it's not something I do. And, last show was kind of a one-off. Sometimes I'll call people out, sure. Mm-hmm. But I don't need to gimmick my show out just to make some money.
No.
And to get viewership. I have plenty of listeners, and I welcome all new ones. And anyone that feels they've outgrown the show or they're not interested anymore, thanks for checking us out anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking out my work, and it was nice having you. Mm-hmm. I'm not losing sleep over it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to gimmick myself out and just trash everybody else's art in order to get people to listen to me.
No.
I don't have to. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not that negative of a human being. So, it just, I don't know, it's beneath me to give too much of my attention to a troll.
Yeah.
Don't feed the trolls. Nobody wants that.
No.
So, I said what I needed to say, and I left it at that. And all of a sudden, there's all these listeners that listen to that particular show from new cities I haven't really noticed in my analytics, and people are shooting me messages and friend requests and everything else saying, hey, great job on that, slaying this guy. And I met some cool people as a result. I've got some guests that will be on the show at some point because their art was attacked, and I want to give them a platform.
Yeah.
And you meet some really cool people, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't care, but they take it personally because it's their art that got attacked, and I get that. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you just got to learn to say there's going to be people out there that are going to do that.
Yeah.
They're trolls. But another thing that I was thinking about is people don't seem to understand the difference between a hater and somebody who's calling you on your bullshit. Mm-hmm. A hater is somebody who's salty towards you because you're successful and they're not, and that's the only thing they're mad about. So they're going to talk shit about you simply because you're where they would like to be, and they don't know how to get there. Mm-hmm. Someone calling you on your bullshit and expecting you to take personal accountability for your actions is not a hater.
No.
That's somebody calling you out because you're being a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. Period.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference. And I'm so tired of that term just because of how misused it is.
Yeah, it's just thrown around willy-nilly.
Because people don't understand what it means. And someone calling you out for being a dick for no reason is not jealous of you. If you look like you're homeless and you have some garbage job that nobody envies, why would people be jealous of you? Why would a successful person be jealous of you?
Exactly.
So why tell yourself this crap? You know what I mean? Because they called you out for being a tool? Somehow that makes them jealous of you? That's the delusion. Mm-hmm. And that's where I feel like somebody's got some mental illness that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And that's a shame.
It is, and I truly, from the bottom of my heart, hope this person or any other person in that predicament gets the appropriate help they need.
Well, you would hope that anybody is going to take it seriously. If you want people to take mental illness seriously, you got to start with yourself and take your own seriously.
Exactly.
Instead of being delusional and telling yourself all these bullshit stories, you need to go and actively seek the help you know you need. So, rather than calling out other people's names, thinking that you're going to become famous and all that nonsense, right? So, it just gets weird. And you deal with all these petty things that come up, and you ignore everything the best of your ability.
Of
but
course.
Sometimes you got to speak up on behalf of other people.
Well, like you did for your friend there. Like, that's like a low blow to insult another person's partner or their children or their family. It's just horrible.
I'm just someone that defends people that don't defend themselves. That's who I am.
Yeah, and when you did that, a lot of people got brave and started sticking up for themselves. So it did help. In a way, it did cause like a good reaction in a way because everyone was scared and just not sticking up for their art or themselves.
Yeah, I'm not going to go on some fucking campaign here and start claiming to be the voice of the voiceless and all this other bullshit, all this cliche garbage.
Oh, of course.
I just don't like seeing people that are too passive or just don't like confrontation not stand up for themselves and just take the shitload as it's dumped on them. Because somebody now thinks they're alpha male because you don't like confrontation, so you're not going to defend yourself. Well, then let me defend you. Let me step up and teach this punk a lesson.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and that's why that last show took place. And people loved it, apparently. So,
and they still do.
hey, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
It was all true. And that's the thing, is I don't have to fabricate things about people. I take everything that I see from them that they put out on video. So if you think I'm lying, you can watch your own video back and see that everything I said came from your mouth first.
Yeah, it's not fabricated.
Right. So this guy he doesn't know anything about any of these people, so he fabricates stories that he tells himself in his head about them, and he talks about it like it's fact. And it's like, you don't... Like, he tried to say none of them have any listeners. You have no access to their analytics whatsoever, so how the fuck could you confirm that?
Exactly.
You're full of shit and you know it. You're basically projecting. You have no listeners, so you want to assume they don't either.
To help yourself sleep at night.
But they have a structured show. They're not just sitting there getting drunk and repeating the same phrases over and over again. And trailing off and not remembering what the hell they're talking about and just saying stupid shit for the sake of speaking. Which is what you're doing. So, yeah, you have no listeners. They probably fucking have plenty. So, it just seems foolish that people let this guy shit all over them for so long.
Yeah.
So I've decided enough was enough, and I spoke up. And then, of course, they realize who they're dealing with, because enough people confirm that dude is who he says he is. So that it's like, oh, well, in that case, let me capitalize on that. Hey, I can respect the grind. It was worth a try.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to fault someone for trying. Fuck it. Hats off. Credit where it's due. Good attempt. Because if I was foolish enough, you would become known. And you would get opportunities. I'm sure. Or a lawsuit or a settlement or whatever the hell. Sure. Probably. But, nah. I'm not dumb.
No.
You know what I mean? So, good on you for trying. A for effort. But it's just not who I am. I don't get to that point of rage where someone said something slick on the internet, so I gotta go and abuse them now, physically pummel them.
No.
It's just not how it works.
No.
When you're a trained fighter especially, you have a responsibility where you are not permitted to use that kind of force in situations just because you're pissed off. It's not good for your career prospects. It's not good for your legal fucking situation.
No.
Because it becomes a legal situation right quick. And I don't know. It just got me thinking about the whole thing and the traps that you fall into in success.
Yeah.
Where everybody wants to take it from you. As soon as you become successful, there's so many people that want to see you fall.
And bury you.
They just want to see you fail. Because you're where they want to be, but they don't know how to get there. So very few people are legitimately happy for you. And there's a lot of people that are happy for you when you're giving them handouts. When the free ride's over, they don't fucking care about you. They're not happy for you anymore. They're right there with the other motherfuckers that want to see you fail. They want to see you fall flat on your face. They want to see your business fail. They want to see your name become, a
laughing stock.
Forgotten about and dwindle away until you're back to where you used to be. And if you know what you're doing, you keep your grind going. You keep doing things. You keep it moving. You move on from one. You don't put all your stocks into one, you don't put all your eggs in one basket.
No.
I didn't stick to just MMA. I started my business and I got into the supplement game and shit like that. I wrote books. I'm still doing stuff. So it is what it is with people trying to knock you down. If you're someone that's looking for longevity, you keep it moving. You keep doing things. Because eventually you're going to wear out your welcome in certain fields, or you're going to want to move on. You're going to outgrow it. So you have to always watch and be mindful of those people that are trying to set you up for failure. And the people that are jealous and want to just kind of throw shade just because they don't like their existence.
Yeah.
And it's usually the people that are sitting there telling you how happy they are with their life they're the ones that are miserable. They're
just hiding it.
They're trying to convince themselves, really, not you. This dude's talking about he loves his life and everything's great, but then in the same sentence will tell you how he hates his job. And it's like, well, I don't blame you. You know what I mean? So you're going to get a lot of people that are going to come along and they're going to try to shit on what you're doing because they want to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
And hell, maybe they truly believe they could do it better. But if that was the case, they'd be doing it and you wouldn't.
Exactly.
So there comes a point where you have to understand people will say the damnedest things out of jealousy and envy. And I'm not saying, you're such a big deal that everyone envies you and this and that and the third. It has nothing to do with that. It's you're in a position where you don't worry about anything. And they are constantly worrying. One false move and I'm homeless. One false move and I'm unemployed. One false move and I don't eat for the rest of the week. One mistake, one bad move costs you everything.
Yeah.
Or one person's decision of, I don't want to rent to you anymore, you're on the streets. I don't want you working here anymore. Now you're scrambling to find a job because rent's due. And I get that. So I can understand the frustration and being salty towards someone that doesn't live that way.
Yeah.
But you have to take accountability and say, it's my life, and if I want something to change, then I have to be the one to change it.
Yeah.
You have to be the catalyst for that change. You have to take responsibility and do the things that are going to gear things into that direction and create change. You can't just rely on calling out other people's names or trying to make them respond to you so now you can tell everyone you're relevant and you got some celebrity attention or some bullshit. Come on, man. You're not going to go pick a fight with people that have made it. So it's not going to work.
No.
Just stop.
You make yourself look like an ass. Just stop it.
It's an embarrassment. And it's not going to get you anywhere. It's only going to frustrate you further because now you feel like you've really tried everything. But I just wanted to kind of touch on the darker side of living your dream and doing the things you love doing what you do. That's why you do it.
Yeah.
And you're going to get people that obviously don't love that. They don't love that they're not there. And you can't blame somebody because it's the greatest fucking feeling to be able to enjoy what you do. If you're doing something that doesn't feel like work, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
There's so many people that spend their whole life doing something that they hate, making someone else rich while they barely scrape by.
Yeah.
And that's a shit life. And trust me, I've lived that before too. So I get it. It sucks.
It does.
It is frustrating.
Especially the worst feelings when, you're at an advanced age, you can't, and then you're on your deathbed and you sit there just thinking, I wish I did things differently. Having regret when you go on your deathbed has got to be the worst feeling in the world.
I always said the worst thing to carry with you in life is regret. So take your chances while you have them, the opportunities to do so. And really go for it. And if you fall, pick yourself up and go at it again. Because now you know what didn't work. And I know it costs money to make money and this, that, and the other. And there's always an excuse. But do what you can for free. And the parts that cost money will cover themselves eventually. Get your name out there.
Yeah.
Become good at what you do so it pays for itself. Because if you do something extremely well, you're going to get investors that see what you do and they believe in you. That you're going to return their investment tenfold.
Yeah.
Because there's no denying the talent.
Exactly.
And the only thing stopping you is the lack of funds to really promote yourself or to get what you're doing off the ground and invest in your craft. So somebody sees like that's the only barrier. Well, I've got the solution to that. I can invest in you and I get a return on my investment. I make profit. You get to succeed. It'll happen as long as you are that good at what you do. But sitting on your ass, not practicing and honing your craft and trying to make a name for yourself off other people, thinking, well, they made it, why can't I? It doesn't work that way, princess. You know what I mean? You gotta fucking put in work. You gotta hold yourself accountable.
Exactly.
And it's easy to get frustrated and give up. Nothing happens overnight. And I busted my ass to get where I'm at. And then all of a sudden, all the people that never fucking spoke to me are coming to me for handouts all the fucking time. All the time. And it gets old fast.
Yes.
So there is a negative side to it. And I know people are like, oh, it must be fucking nice to have that be your biggest problem in life. Well, no. Because it's not about the money. It's about the principle of it. The same people that you cared for that didn't give a shit about you suddenly are putting on this mask of, happy fucking face, love you to death, even though they never fucking gave you the time of day until there's something you could do for them. Now all of a sudden you're their best friend? Bullshit. You know that's a load of crap. They know it's a load of crap. So that bothers you. That's the one thing you might go to bed at night with on your mind. Not what some dickhead on the internet said. You don't worry about that kind of crap. But the people that you once thought were close to you, and now not so much, but want to act like they're close to you or closer than ever to you, because you want to keep that person close by when you need something.
Yeah. And
that sucks.
It's such a dirty tactic, really.
And the thing is, just because someone doesn't call you out on it doesn't mean they're not noticing it. You know what I mean? You see it, and you're sitting there thinking, okay, so that's how it's going to be then. All right. I see now. And that's when the free ride stops.
Yep.
I'm not here for every time somebody goes through some hard shit, come running to me for a handout. But that seems to be the mentality of so many people. They think that's what I'm here for. That's all I'm good for. So, yeah, there is a downside that does bother you. With success comes shit that does kind of cut deep.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, there's always going to be the negative. And I know everyone thinks, oh, that's a fair trade. That's a small price to pay. Until you are there. Until you have it. And then it gets annoying. To the point where you just want to get rid of social media. Nobody has your number.
And you just disappear.
Dude, like 3 people have my phone number. Honestly. Legit. Like 3 to 5 people tops have my phone number. That's how fucking tightly shut I keep my shit. I keep my personal information sealed up. I don't let anyone close. Because people are all the same in most situations, I find. And I'm not blanket stating and saying every single person listening to this is some user piece of shit. I'm just saying the people that I fucking have known that never had time for me suddenly showed their true colors.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, why would I give them direct access to me every chance? You know? Nah, I'm good on that.
Yep.
So, it's one of those things that I used to be guilty of, complaining about people that complain once they become successful, because I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had no idea. I was like, what are they complaining about? What the hell do they have to complain about? Go wipe your tears with your fucking money. You know? But then you experience it, and it's like, damn.
I understand now.
Was it worth it? You know? I would rather people just leave me the hell alone like they did when I was broke. You know? And stop being fake. And stop coming around like we're super tight, because that stopped a long time ago. That stopped when you decided you didn't have the time for my ass anymore.
That you had better things to do.
Right. I could deal with people trying to sucker me into giving them a little bit of attention and making a name for themselves off my work. Things of that nature. I get that. I could deal with that. That's an easy thing to ignore. It's when it's people close to you that, or used to be close to you, that should be close to you for the right reasons, but they're not. So that's what I take issue with. That's what I find hard to deal with. And that shit sucks.
Yep.
And I could do without that. That's the negative. If I could change anything about being successful and making a name for yourself and being known,
then that's it.
That's the one thing. Anything else I can deal with.
Yeah.
So I just thought it might give people a little inside perspective of what it is we complain about as people that are successful. You're going to hear people that are successful bitch about their fame and their success, and you're going to be like, wow, some people are never happy. But you don't know until you live it.
Yep.
You do not know until you've experienced the way people change around you. And then people say you've changed. Well, you have to adapt to your surroundings.
Well, yes.
You have to adapt to the situation around you and your environment. If people around you have changed and become shady and can't be trusted, then yeah, you're going to have to adapt and not be so damn gullible and naive and trusting. So, yeah, you're going to change. You're damn right you're going to change. Because you have to become protective of your hard work.
Absolutely.
And your accomplishments. And if people don't understand that, then they are exactly the type of people you need to avoid completely. So, you're going to get people that are salty because you have new sponsors, and now you're putting on ads on your show. And you're going to get people that are going to complain about all sorts of shit. And it's just, you got to draw a line somewhere where you're just like, I don't care. I really don't. Not anymore. At this point, you can't please everybody.
No.
You got to protect your investment, your hard-earned fucking accomplishments, and not worry so much about what might set some people off or make them stop listening to you or stop supporting what you do. Because for every person that falls off that doesn't want to support you anymore, 5 more will. So it is what it is. I don't care anymore. I just avoid stupid stuff like that.
It's for the best.
Yeah, I mean, social media is kind of a cesspool for that, pay attention to me attitude. So people will find someone that is successful and just kind of prod them and keep dropping their name or keep hitting them with some subliminal messages, trying to get their attention, trying to get that response. And then you get people that come to you that love drama that are like, hey, dude's talking about you again.
Yeah, you know what he said this time?
Yeah, and it's like, who cares? At the end, let him say what he wants on his way to his call center job. Like, it's not hurting my feelings, man.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't do nothing for me. It's not a day ruiner, Really wish he didn't say that. Doesn't ruin my day. Nah, I'm good.
No.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm really not upset.
Nope.
I really wish it was a little more clever. I wish that it was more slick, and I felt insulted. I wish some thought was put into it. That would have been nice.
But, hey, whatever.
It's disappointing that it wasn't something, fucking better thought out. But the fact that he's trying to insult me doesn't bother me. It's fine. And I mean anybody on the internet that tries to talk shit. Because you're going to get people that talk shit. It's inevitable. You're going to get people that don't even have a problem with you. It's just, well, so many other people seem to like this guy. Fuck him. You know what I mean?
What the fuck?
People just want to be different, right? They don't want to be a sheep. They don't want to be a bandwagoner. And closing thought is actually, I had a guy, again, going back to how tight I keep my profile.
Yeah.
He kind of put 2 and 2 together, and he was like, hey, shit, I didn't even realize, like, you're Tattness, man. You're the dude behind all that, and I didn't realize that, so I just wanted to say, great job on what you've done and what you've established and what you built, and, by the way, not trying to be a fanboy, just kind of showing some respect, and it's like, it really bothered me that he felt he had to, like, he had experiences where he felt the need he had to clarify, I'm not being a fanboy by saying great job on what you've accomplished. It bothered me that it would come across that way in his mind. So obviously he's had some experiences where people have called him a fanboy just for being...
Just showing some respect.
Just for saying, hey, great job. I think you've accomplished a hell of a lot in your life. And I just want to say, awesome job. So because he's not bitter, because he didn't make it, and, you know, he's not talking shit because of that, people are calling him a fucking fanboy. So he had felt the need to tell me, that's not my intention. I don't mean to come across like a fanboy or anything. I'm just trying to give you respect. And I'm like, hey, man, I don't view it that way at all. I don't have that kind of ego where if somebody congratulates me on something, I'm like, big fan, right? No, come on. You know, it's just someone being cool. So I don't know if he's a fan of mine. I don't know if he listens to my shit.
Yeah.
Or, you know, obviously he knows who I am, so he follows something I do.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make him a fanboy. It's just somebody showing some respect, showing some love, and being positive, and saying congrats on all your accomplishments. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. What I do see something wrong with is that obviously people have given him some negative experiences for doing that, where he felt he's going to come across like some kind of ass kisser. And I think that's really sad, you know, that the world's going in that direction, where you can't just give someone a compliment or congratulate someone on really hard-earned success without someone saying, oh, you're a real fanboy, kissing his ass and, you know, trying to suck up to him. That's not what it is at all.
No.
Come on, man. So, let's wrap this bitch up. I just wanted to kind of touch on the whole thing, the success downside, really.
Yeah.
And I'm not whining, I'm not complaining, I'm just saying it does exist.
And you're just promoting awareness.
Right. So tomorrow I'll be doing an interview. I'll be interviewed on a new show, which is cool. I look forward to that. I'm not going to complain.
Me too.
Right? I'm not going to complain about it. Yeah, you'll probably hear it.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool. I'm always willing to do interviews and shit like that and answer questions. That's fine. So I think it'll be fun.
Awesome.
So anyways, thanks for checking us out, man.
All right. We'll see you next time.
A destruction of the fear in us. I have yet to know what I should